All right, good morning. This is video number 2. I'm filming with my iPad today so I can see it better because I got some paperwork to show you. What I wanted to start out with on the first video is this is the stuff that I have found over the years that works for me. Chances are it'll work for you too. It's basic science. But what you're going to want to do if you're not healthy, if you have diabetes or heart condition or all that stuff, I had everything. You're going to want to talk to your doctor and your diabetes program. That's what we call it here in Canada. And make sure this plan is right for you. I'll tell you a few little things that you need to look for. I was on insulin at the start. I've been on it for, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 years. Lantus insulin, one shot every night. I was taking 80 units at the start. Now, when I started this November 7th, it didn't take long for my blood sugar to start dropping. My A1C was, I was averaging about 9.5, 10. And I would get up in the morning, it would be, say, 6.5. That's whatever Canada's thing is, milliliters per liter or whatever. So I started noticing, check your blood sugar often. When you start, because if you've been doing it for a long time, and you don't check anymore very often, like I didn't, you're gonna run into problems. So it didn't take long for my blood sugar to start going down and down, and then one morning it was 5 when I woke up. One morning it was 4.5 when I woke up. It got into the threes. And I had a meeting over the phone with my diabetes people, and they told me to drop 5 units of insulin every night until it comes back up to 5. Well, I dropped 5, I dropped 10, I dropped 15, and it was still below 5. So I cut it right back to 20, starting at 80. Bam, 5.4 or 5.6 in the morning when I got up. And it didn't take long before it was going down again. So I'm going to say from when I started November 7th up to, I'm going to say just before Christmas. By Christmas I was off the insulin. And you're going to watch, I had a couple of lows at the start. I'd never had them before. My sugar's always been high. And lows are scary. It came out of nowhere. And I was sitting down here at the kitchen table, and all of a sudden I don't feel good. And then I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. My little daughter was standing beside me. She was talking to me. I didn't even hear her. She was blabbing away. And I checked my blood sugar. I was at 2.8, pretty close to being dead. So sugar bowl, took a spoonful of sugar. Within 5 minutes I was fine. So you got to watch that. What I do now when I go out, and I know, like if I go shopping, normally I'll have breakfast in the morning first. I'll go do my shopping, and I'll be home before lunch. And I'll bring an apple, or when I'm grocery shopping, I'll buy some apples and I'll eat an apple. And that's what's worked for me. I check my blood pressure every day. I was on some pretty heavy blood pressure pills, and it got to the point, by the time I had lost, I'm gonna say 35 pounds, my blood pressure was going down a big time. It was getting into the low region. And my resting heart rate on my Fitbit, when I started, my resting heart rate was 81. And then by doing activity and losing weight, it was down into the 50s. And then it got to where I was starting to get really, really dizzy. I couldn't get up real fast. If I did, everything would go and I'd black out. So I just stopped taking them. Now, don't do that. That was really bad. I had few days where I couldn't even function, and I had to start taking them again. So I talked to the pharmacist, and I ended up I took 2 a day, and I think they were big anyway, and they had a score line in the middle. So what I had to do was in the morning, I cut one in half, and I took half, and then at night I took the whole one. And then the next morning, do that for a few days, and then half in the morning, half at night for a few days. Cut out the night one for a few days, and then it took me, I'm gonna say, a good 2-3 weeks to get right off of them, and then I was fine. Like my resting heart rate went up to about 63, which is good for me. I don't know. If you look on the internet, it just gives you a range. It's supposed to be between 60 and 100. So if you idle at 99, I don't know what that means, but I think the smaller you are, the faster it is. Because I checked my daughter, and hers is like 104. I don't know if you ever seen a hamster, and their hearts are going blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so that's that part of it. A little disclaimer there. I track everything. Now, if you do what I told you, and I hope you went and you weighed yourself and you got your BMR, and what you're going to do is just eat your BMR a day. Now, if you only do that, anything extra that you do is burning off calories that you're not eating that day. Old fat, you're burning it off. Now, if you want to do a lot of activity, go right ahead. If you want to do a little activity, go right ahead. I'll tell you, if you got a Fitbit, I'll talk about this in the next video, the fitness and the Fitbit. But if you have a Fitbit, it's not hard to get your 1,000 calorie burn a day. Not hard to see actually my BMR right now is 2,100, so that's the number I'll be using later. But it's not hard for me to get the 3,200 calorie burn. If you're doing your basic daily routine, and if you show 10,000 steps on here, guaranteed you'll get your 1,000 a day burn. I'm talking about Fitbit wise. Now, this records everything. So if you're a hand talker, I just probably did 5 steps and I haven't even moved yet. So if you're gonna have your phone in your pocket, I did this with a couple of different things. I have a Weight Watchers walking tracker, and my phone tracks walking. You're gonna find to get 10,000 steps on your phone or your pedometer, you're probably gonna have about 13,000 on here. So be mindful of that. But don't really worry about it. Anything is better than nothing, right? So what I do is every day, a friend of mine pointed out, I'll be talking about iTrackBytes. It's a free program. I just checked it out, and it's pretty much close to what I'm doing. Not their program, but the way they calculate their bites. If you want to do it on your own, just figuring out your calories from your food. What you're going to do is you're going to take the calories off your nutrition label of whatever it is, but you're going to need your little food scale. And if something is, say, 300 calories and it's 200 grams, you're going to have to weigh out the 200 grams, or you're going to have to, whatever calculation you're going to use. If you're going to eat 400, I tend to do things evenly, so I'm not trying to do math or I got my calculator out. But you're going to take the calories, you're going to divide it by 35. What that is going to do is that's going to give you your point value, and it's pretty close. Now, how to figure out how many points a day you get, this is where I found a little hack in the programs. I noticed iTrack Bytes has a calculator on there as well, and I did it for myself just now, and it tells me that I need 41 bytes a day. Now I don't do that. Right now I'm at 34 bytes a day, and this is how I calculate it. Take your BMR, whatever you're gonna eat that day, divide it by 60. That'll give you your daily points. That works. That's how you can make Weight Watchers work for you, how you can make the iTrack Bytes work for you, and your points that I just told you how to do, dividing your food calories by 35. Now, if you have really high fat foods or high fiber foods, the points are going to be off. That's where the WW stuff comes into play. There's a couple different counters they have. iTrack Bytes is going to track your calories, your saturated fat, your sugar, and your protein. Weight Watchers Points Plus does fat, carbs, fiber, and protein. And Weight Watchers Flex Points does calories, fiber, and fat. Now, if you join the Weight Watchers, it's $27.99 a month. If you're going to use it and if you're going to follow this program, it's a good investment. You're investing in yourself. Just remember that. You're investing in your health, your well-being. So it's a good purchase if you can afford it. And then when you go to the grocery store, you're going to bring your tracker with you, your counter with you, whether it's your phone or your little points tracker. Personally, the best one I liked was the Weight Watchers cardboard slider. It was the old program. It was like from 10, 12 years ago. And it's just a cardboard slider. I love that thing. It was fast. Like you could be in the grocery store and go, no, I want that one. So I bought one on eBay and I ordered it. And apparently, because of Corona, Canada Post is allowed to lose your stuff in the mail. Just remember that. So what you're going to do is every day, you're going to start out with this is yesterday. Now I did something yesterday that I don't normally do. I haven't been sleeping lately. And last night, I figured cardio. I was doing cardio every night after supper, most nights, half an hour. Because I'm not on the insulin anymore, I have to exercise after I eat, or else I'm going to go to bed and my blood sugar is going to be high. I'm going to wake up the next morning, it's going to be high, and then it's the whole thing. So I was doing cardio at like between 6 and 7 for the past week, I guess, and I haven't been sleeping. So last night I didn't do that. Last night I went for a walk around the neighborhood. Good one. I did 5,000 steps. And that worked. That dropped my sugar down. And when I got home, I took a couple melatonins, and I was watching TV and I fell asleep. So I was gonna have a snack after, and I didn't. Right here. So I went to bed and I had 9 points left. Try not to do that. Try to eat your points or bytes, whatever program you're on. But you can see all day. Like I start out with my 34, and then as I eat, I knock it down. Now you can do this if you join the Weight Watchers. I think what they do is you can start with your points, and then as you eat, you can take them off, and it tells you right on your phone. You don't have to do all this, but I like having I've written stuff out that's already calculated, because I like to lay stuff out and look at it. I'm a book guy. This nowadays, not having books is insane to me. Trying to teach the kids homework, it's crazy with their iPad. Anyway, and you're gonna find your product that you like. You're gonna go in, you're gonna bring your calculator, and you're gonna go into the store, and you're gonna pick up the real bacon, and you're gonna pick up the Maple Lodge Farm bacon. I don't like it. I find it gives me heartburn, and I burp it up all day. My favorite right now is the Butterball turkey bacon, and the slices are pretty big. It's almost like more of a ham flavor, and each slice is 1 point. So normally I only had 2 left. I haven't gone grocery shopping yet. I was gonna go today or tomorrow, but normally I have probably 4 slices of that, and then normally I eat the egg whites in the carton. You'll find you can eat like a cup full, like liquid, fill a measuring cup, liquid, read the label. A cup, you can get away with 1 point. So for a couple points of that, you can have like a plate full of eggs. Like it's the amount you'll have is crazy compared to if you just use 2 regular eggs. They're 2 points each. So I've used 4 points. If I had 4 points of egg whites, my frying pan would be full. But you have to watch that. And sometimes you'll find with a food, if you have 1, it's 2, and if you have 2, it ends up being 5. So you got to watch that too. But the eggs that were just 4. Then I ate this. This is all free stuff that I ate. Vegetables, apples. I ate a banana. Write it down. Write it all down. Now salad. If you're gonna have a salad, the salad part of it's free. If you're gonna have croutons, you got to count those. And if you're gonna have ranch dressing, you got to count that. Normally I don't. I just wanted a change, and I knew I had points left over because I was low already. Try to find the calorie-wise stuff, stuff that's under 25 calories per serving. Now, nobody uses 1 tablespoon of dressing on a salad. I'm sorry. But if you buy this sun-dried tomato or zesty Italian or whatever, you're going to use whatever you want. And it's probably, I don't even count it because it's only 10 or 20 calories for a tablespoon. So, I had 2 turkey burgers. Now I counted them as 10. They're not actually 10. I think they were 4 each. I think I screwed up there. But anyway, President's Choice Blue Menu stuff, great products. I highly recommend all their products. Their hamburgers, you can get a real good, decent. Their blue menu hamburgers patties are very good. They're lean, like you cook them and they don't shrink at all. And I think they're 5 points each. A regular hamburger's 10, so you're saving 5 points right there. That's more food you can eat later. What does that say?
Backwards.
Oh, Wonder Bread. Okay, so that's my bun I had with my turkey burgers. Wonder buns are 4. I think Dempster's are 3. Normally I buy Dempster's, but they didn't have any, so anyway. And then barbecue sauce. I don't use a lot of sauces and stuff, but this barbecue sauce, there's a lot of sugar in it, so you got to be mindful of that. You got to count that. Same as mayo, and I don't know what else you're going to use, but mustard is free. Mustard's a good one. I got a friend that his go-to snack is broccoli and mustard, which I haven't tried yet. He eats it like crazy, but it doesn't sound appetizing to me. And then at the end of the day, you're going to see how many points you left. And now, I talked about what you eat and when you eat it. I found I was saving myself that many points a day, 10 points a day. And then at night, I was eating a bag of those pop chips or crispy minis and stuff like that. And I noticed my weight loss was starting to decrease. That's where writing stuff down helps. And I cut that out, and I went back to just eating. I'd eat either yogurt or cottage cheese with mixed fruit or little mandarins or whatever mixed up. You can get a good sized container for a couple of points, and that's what I was eating, and it brought my weight loss back. So then you're gonna take all this information, and every week you're gonna write it down. If you have good weeks, don't worry about it. Just make sure you keep this. I have it all condensed in a little binder now. I was doing, before I was using every day, had its own page. So you'll see, and then you end up with a mess like this. And it's hard to, you have to lay everything out, so that's why I switched to this book. And what my plan is to have 7 days on one page, and then I can put my little notes. I can put my little notes in the side here of, I can put how much I lost that week, how many calories I burned, blah, blah, blah. And then that'll be easier than, because what I did do is I have this. Now, I did one video a while ago and then I never did post it, but I had gone through my weeks and I noticed some patterns that were evolving. And you're gonna wanna do this maybe every month, but I write down, these are my weeks, this is my start, so this is every week. Saturday morning I weigh in, no other day, Saturday morning, that's it. What it is, I write it down. And this will give you, you can see, it's hard to read backwards. Lost so far, and then lost this week. Now, this week is from that Saturday to that Saturday. So you can see you go down and you put all your weight losses in. And then you're gonna go out and you're gonna pick 4 weeks and you're gonna do an average of that 4 weeks. You're gonna go 4 weeks, pick an average, pick an average, pick an average. I'm pretty consistent. I've had a few weeks that were low, but I don't worry about it. I find myself, I'm on a 2-week cycle. I don't know why. I was last time I did this, and that's just the way it is. I couldn't figure, I think, because you'll see I got 5, 1.4, 4, 2.8, and then 0.4. Ooh, what happened there? And then, what is it, 5.2, 0. Ooh, what happened there? So anyways, I can go through and I can pick my averages of those weeks, and then you can kind of split them and then do an average of those 4 weeks and then figure it out. Now, if you see something weird and you go in and you go, well, my average that month was 2.8. This month was pretty good, 3.45, does that say? What did I do different here than I did there? That's when you can go back into your logs and you can see what you did different. Now, as for your calories burned, I know what I ate because I have it all right here. Every day I have it right here. I knew what I ate because I wrote everything down. Now, when I go into here, I can do my activity level. So I'm saying here, my weekly, my BMR was 2100 a day. So I'll be using that number right now. 2100. It was just the kind of, it started at 24 and I'm down to 2 now, but 21 is kind of the middle, right? Don't worry too much about that. As long as you only eat your BMR a day. So my weekly BMR would be 7 times that would be 14,700. And my goal burn, I want to burn 1,000 a day. So my goal burn is 7,000 for the week. The total of the two, my BMR and my goal burn, is 21,700 total a week. That's what I want to burn. If I only burn my BMR 14,700, I'm not going to lose weight. I'm not going to gain weight. I'm going to stay the same because I know what I ate. So anything you do above that 14,700 is taken off of your reserves, your stored fat. So you can see down the list here, I want to do, what did I say? 21,700 a week. Now, not very often. The first week, that week there, I didn't have my Fitbit. I think I got it on a Wednesday or something. So that's why that one's low. But you can see every week, I'm above my 21,700. Some days are higher. Some days, some weeks are higher, some weeks are, but I'm pretty consistent at to what I do. And then you can see your weight loss. I got weight loss that week, December 6th to 15th. I lost 5 pounds. Now I did 28,000. So I can go back and I can go into my food logs, and my activity, if I only ate my BMR, my activity doesn't show that I would have lost 5 pounds, but maybe I didn't eat as much that week. But you can figure that stuff out. I did this because sometimes you'll run into a plateau and you'll be doing the same thing all the time, and you'll find that your weight loss stalls out. So having this helps because you can go back. And if you change it up, like you have a couple bad weeks, and then you change something up, maybe you're going to eat less or you're going to exercise more or throw in a different exercise, do it for a whole week. Because then you'll know, and then it'll show up on your weight loss, and you'll know what that did. Sometimes I do things for 2 weeks. A lot of things I do things for 2 weeks because, like I said, I'm on a 2-week cycle. I don't know what that's all about, but anyways, that's what I do. And the amount of paperwork is tremendous. That's why I should have done this from the start with this book and had everything together in one book. Now if you're gonna go out somewhere for the day and you wanna write down whatever, and if you don't have nowadays everybody's got a smartphone, so you can have a thing in your notes and you can write down. And if you're gonna eat some prepackaged food and you don't wanna carry the empty package home with you, you can just write down the nutritional information, and then if you got a counter at home, you can go home and write down the point value of that. But as you get along, you're gonna know what points are what type of food, because you're gonna buy the same stuff all the time pretty much. That's what I do. I find a product and I buy it and I try it. If I don't like it, I don't buy it again. If I do like it, I keep it. I remember up here, and I remember what the value is of it. Different products that are the same, you're going to go through. If you're going to go into your bread aisle and you're going to go through the bread, they have Weight Watchers bread. The points are written right on it. If you get a store with lots of Weight Watchers product, that's a good thing to do. Blue Menu is everything Blue Menu is good. Their lasagna is amazing, and I can eat a piece, like I'm talking that big, for 8-9 points. Now that's pretty good. That in my salad, I just ate a damn good supper, and that I can do that if I ate a lot of points during the day and I don't have a lot left. And you're gonna wraps are bad. high points. A regular wrap is 5 points, whereas I can buy the Wonder Sandwich Thins bread. You can get 2 slices of that. Make yourself a good sandwich, and the bread's only 4 points for the two slices. Lean meat, 1 point an ounce. You can figure all that out. I'm not going to go in. I'm already almost up to 30 minutes here, but you can figure all that stuff out, and you're just gonna want to make good choices. I don't use any oil or anything when I'm frying anything, like my eggs and stuff. I buy the spray. I find the butter flavored Pam, and I go, psh, don't even have to count it. But if you use butter, you're gonna have to count that, as well as whatever the food value is. Just little things like that. You're gonna find you're gonna want to shave points everywhere you can, because the less points something is, the more you can eat. If you want to eat chocolate cake and pizza for breakfast, use all your points for the day, well, you're gonna go hungry later. Just my 2 cents. So that's the long and short of it there. I'll post this up to YouTube, I'll put a link on Facebook. I don't think I'm gonna bother posting these on Facebooks because I'm not looking to get a million Facebook friends and commenting on my stuff. If I get some bad comments on YouTube, I'll just disable the comments. So, because I'm not looking for stress. I don't need stress right now. So, that's the long and short of it. Next video, I'll get into activity, and we'll talk about that. That's that.